Hello, Team Mick Karn. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just doing a trial of explaining the whole album thing. It's very confusing. I don't know even if you can see this properly. You can see a chimney and some flowers, which could be really useful. Also, I'm using Hal's computer at the moment, so I don't really know it very well as mine's broken, but I just know that everyone's getting so confused and we're, losing potentially great posts. And I've just been uploading all the old book club posts, and that's really difficult. It's the only way to find things is to search, and you've got to have keywords and stuff. So if we just post to the wall, everything will eventually kind of get lost. We've got, if you look here in the photographs, we've got thousands, and looking through trying to find what you want is difficult. So basically, it's just a system of working within the restrictions that Facebook, sort of applies. We don't invent them. With the admin settings, I don't know if any of you are running a team or anything like that, but the settings are really limited. There's not a huge amount I can do. I can't move your pictures from the wall into the albums, and equally, the ones down here, if we've got hundreds the same. If you're looking through Google and you want to put a picture up, 9 times out of 10, possibly more, we've probably got those photographs of Mick here. It'd be better if you could comment on them here. You come up to the wall and we can all share our comments together, so it becomes a kind of like an ongoing document. That's the idea. That's one reason. 2, the albums are much easier to find. Obviously, if you're looking through for loads and loads of pictures, that's complicated. And really, we could end up with quite a good little virtual museum. That's the idea. Okay, so first things first. If you just want to add a photograph, just a regular photograph, a new photograph we haven't got, say a picture of Mick, right? Go to, say, this album would be a great one to go to because it's called Gentleman in Polaroids. There's a clue. So it's all about him. Go to add photos. I don't know my way around Hal's computer very well, unfortunately. Sorry. So here we go. So open, and hopefully that will. Now I'm not going to leave this in the album, but you will see, because actually it's a picture of him and Angie Bowie, and obviously it's not a portrait, so it's use your judgment. If we all do our own albums, we'll end up with 700 albums, and that'll be just as confusing. If we could find, if there isn't a proper album for the thing you want to do, I'll explain how to do that in a moment, but basically that picture of Angie and Mick will be there now somewhere. There's quite a lot of pictures in this anyway, so it's there at the bottom, obviously. Now, if we want to bring that to the wall, all we have to do is, write a little note here. Anything will do. You could just put a heart, like that. And by clicking the enter button, I'm not going to do that because it'll fly up onto the wall and confuse everybody, but not that you can be that confused by Mick in an Alice band. But essentially hit the enter button and it flies up onto the wall, okay? Now, that's fine, that's how you place it there, and we can then comment, and then when we need to move it, or when the wall scrolls along, we can still find it back here in the album. So that's the whole point of it. Now, when it comes to other kind of things that aren't as straightforward as that, for instance, you want to make a really interesting post, and you want to make, Stuart's been doing some really interesting questions about, asking each person about a specific thing. Now, say, Stuart, not picking on you, but they were really great ideas. Say, for instance, that you wanted Stuart to do a series of questions. Maybe it could be your thing, Stuart asks kind of thing. Right, just say you did. There is a way that you can make an album of that pretty straightforwardly, isn't there? All you have to do is find a photograph. It doesn't have to be of Mick. For instance, you could go here. You could write it in something like this. I like using the old keep Calm-O-Matic you can use that to make a nice poster. You could look here and look for images and just literally download a question mark. You know, and you could make your own that says Ask Stuart, or you could just put a picture of Mick or whatever it is. And then, so say I do that, just like any one of them. And hopefully I'll be able to, oh gosh, where is it? Save picture. Untitled will do. Save it in there. Right. So, basically, if you just go to the top of here and you just upload photos, you will create an album. Okay? So let's pretend, I can delete this afterwards, let's pretend that Stuart wants to create a whole album of questions. All he does is not ask Stuart, that would be wrong, wouldn't it? We'd all be asking him questions all the time, he'd get very fed up with that. Stuart asks. Okay, and then, you know, each week, Stuart, he's going to hate me. Oh dear, I can't even spell his name. It's not my fault, it's Hal's computer, I'll say. Stuart asks TMK an interesting question. No pressure, Stuart. Blah, blah, blah. Now, basically, when that you then post this and you've got a whole new album. Okay? And then, should you want this beautiful picture to come to the front of the wall, all you have to do is write your question here. So, TMK, what is your favourite breakfast cereal or something? I can't spell that. Is that right? No. Breakfast drink. Now, you see, I'm dyslexic, so I have to do things by picture in my head, otherwise I get very confused. So, what is your favourite breakfast drink? I'm not encouraging that one. But anyway, I'm sure you can do a lot better, Stuart. You've been asking some great questions. So, you would do that. You then finish editing, and then, to bring it to the wall again, you comment below. That's what makes it fly up to the wall. Okay, so I'm just going to put testing on this. And then, if we go back to Team Mick Karn, as it says here, slowly back, then there you are. And there is something that will confuse everybody now as to what on earth's going on. But hopefully, if I actually manage to finish this film, it will explain itself. And so basically, you've got a way, and it's the same way that we've managed to do the interview section, just by, you know, sort of figuring out the best way in which to, you know, get everything we can from the system. So here, you can actually make an album cover as well. You know, just pick any picture that sort of suits what you're talking about. That goes at the front. You can move these around. There goes Marco and Tony Levin. So, for instance, in the Marco interview, which will come up now, you know, basically we're able to get the photograph there, post up the interview as a description, and then all of the points made afterwards, including more photographs and things like that, can be added as comments. And so you end up with a really good thing you can add to, you know, it's been added up right to the 9th of February, and we followed the release of Marco's Dime Novels album, which is, you know, highly recommended. You know, so this is how we can use the system if we want to. We can either end up with all these fabulous posts of yours, your great thoughts, just lost and, you know, virtually lost forever, or we can, you know, save them in this album situation. We can save them as albums and have a, you know, a really good system. You don't need to post twice, you don't need to do anything else. Just a comment alone will make that appear on the wall. And then as the wall scrolls along, you know, as new things come up, your post can be found easily again and again. So just scroll through here, look for the appropriate album. If one doesn't exist, then please do make one. But just obviously, if we can try to find ways to, you know, do it sparingly, we'll end up with a much better result. So, for instance, all the things about the recent auctions are in TMK memorabilia, and everything that's gone on pretty much. Obviously, if you write directly onto the wall, the only way is cut and paste with that. I can't, nobody can move that. So if you can just literally add a photograph here, and then all of the comments will just spring up. So that's it pretty much. Obviously an iPad's different, and I'd have to go through that. Well, I say different. Obviously, if you follow and if you go to, if you use Safari, it should work the same way. But hopefully this will help. And I'll just finish by saying, look, 699, sorry about my nail varnish, horrid, but 699 people, nearly 700, absolutely wonderful. So if you've got as far as this, listening to this, because it's actually, I'm looking at ages, 11 minutes, I just need to shut up. Any questions, please comment below, and thank you for listening, and of course, keep calm.